Lindley from Animals Amplified, and this week we're going to talk about how to conference. Okay, we're going to talk about how to get the most out of the content at the conference. So step one is to check out the content before you even leave. Know what your challenges are. Think about what problems you need to solve on your way to the conference. That way you'll know exactly what you need to get out of the conference while you're there. Next is to get your handy dandy program guide. Lots of conferences do little mini ones, some only put them online, and AZA also has a big giant conference. Now at AZA there are concurrent sessions, so you really have to make the most out of what sessions you're going to go to. So you go through and you make little stars by the things that might interest you. You can also room with someone who makes you feel guilty if you skip any of the sessions. That might be me. That way you're not hanging out networking all night and then not wanting to get up and go to the sessions in the morning. Also think about how everything applies to you. You might go to a talk about elephants and find something that's applicable for your cats. Or you might go to a volunteer program discussion and you might get something out of it for your team. So don't be narrow-minded. Don't think that just because it's not something that you're dealing with means that you can't get something out of that. You also have to get really good at taking notes. So I actually use an app on my phone called Google Docs. Pretty simple. You can get it on your computer as well. And you can actually take pictures while you're watching a presentation of the slide or the speaker's contact information and plug it directly into your notes. I'll show you right over here exactly what that looks like. So you open up your app and you type in your notes, and then when you want to take a photo of the slide, you just click this little plus button here, pop in your photo of the slide, and that is how you take some excellent notes. Then you can head back to your computer, crop all these photos of the slides, cut out what you want. I usually highlight what's really important to me, what I need to go back for, and I divide my notes up into the session that I'm visiting on the day that I'm visiting it, as well as any networking that I might do. So someone I need to follow up with, or someone I talk to about a particular subject that I might want to follow up with in the future, or any big ideas I have. These are the big take-home exciting things that I'm really buzzed about at the conference that I want to go home and implement right away.
Well, Lindley talked to you about the program guide. Some of us are a little more tech savvy. I can't really say that I am, but I like to use the app. So the app that AZA had is organized by day, and you can bookmark all your sessions. Just go up to the date that you want to go to them, and it'll have everything that you need already bookmarked for you. So it's really handy. It also has links to poster presentations that you want to see, AZA's Twitter, conference sponsors, all general information, and it's all right here on your phone, which I know everybody carries around. So super easy tool to use. You can go look at it before the conference and find everything that you need and want to see.
You've been through your conference guide, now you're going to a presentation. You sit down in the room and it is not something that applies to you. What do? Well, you have some options. You can get up and walk out. We just did that. It wasn't applicable information to us, so we just got up and we left, and that's absolutely fine. You'll notice other people do it the whole time. Some conferences have concurrent sessions where you have multiple sessions that you have to choose from. So if one isn't something that applies to you, get up, go, and try something else out. If you're lucky and you're at a conference where everything happens in the same room, yay, you have no choices to make and your life just got a lot easier. Okay, let's see what Michelle has to say about getting the most out of your content.
So usually when I look through the sessions, I look at things that could be relevant to me, but not necessarily on a species level, or even if it's related to something we even have at our zoo. There's lots of things that you can get from kind of thinking outside the box, and sometimes the coolest enrichment items I've thought of actually have been derived from primates, and I work with polar bears and seals and sea lions, but there's a lot of crossover between the different species, and sometimes you can go to sessions that are more about like guest engagement. And while on my day-to-day life I'm just taking care of animals, I'm washing dishes. That's not necessarily something I'm doing, but we do talks. We do guest connections. We will run into the public, and if I know kind of where the public perception is at right now, that's going to change some of the wording that I'm going to use to engage with them. I'm going to know better how to get in touch with those people, and I'm going to know some things that they're interested in, or maybe some concerns that they might have, and I can proactively address those things. So I can go to sessions like that are maybe geared towards marketing and guest services departments, but I can actually still get a lot of them too.
So if you've taken really good notes, then you should have a really great platform to take back and share information with your team. Now, I suggest a few different ways to do this. One quick way is to just share your notes with everyone. So you've taken really good notes, send them out, and let them read through those notes if they have time. You notice what I said there. I said if they have time. No one ever has any time, so no one may ever read your notes. The other way to do is actually to make a to-do list. So you could list off all the things that you found incredibly important and the most impactful, and you could set timelines, goals, and priorities to accomplish those things that you found. What if you got some information that you want to take back and talk to your supervisor about? How best to do that, right? Well, there's a couple ways. You could just come back and say, hey, I saw something I'm really excited about it. I want to know what you think, and tell them all about it. It might not be something that you're able to jump right into right away. You can prioritize your to-do list from the conference. And then you kind of have to plant a seed and let it grow. You have to understand you've just been gone. There's a lot of things not happening because you're not there. And so be patient. Some of these changes take a long time to implement. The other cool way to share with your team and your supervisor is to pick a speaker that you really enjoyed, or you really enjoyed the content of their presentation, and ask them to Zoom room in, Skype, or FaceTime their presentation for you. It might take a little while, a little coordination and a little prodding to set this up, but it's a great way to share what you learned. If you have the ability to film sessions, you can always do that, though that's really hard to know what's going to be worth filming and what might not, so that can be a challenge. You might have a really great idea, you might bring it back, and your supervisor might not agree that it's as awesome of an idea as you think it is, and that's okay. Not all of our ideas are going to take off and fly like crazy, so just be ready to pick really big ideas that you feel like you can implement and put those into action. I just really want to emphasize that you might be able to get something out of a session that doesn't apply to you at all. If you work with fish, you might look for information on other social species. Maybe you could get something out of primate presentation. Just think outside of the box. If you're looking for culture ideas, go to a volunteer culture talk and an employee engagement talk, and you might get some culture ideas from places that you didn't always expect. And oops, you're going.
Why is my hair so flat? Hello, my adoring public.
You're going. I'm gonna put that in.